Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, head on over to instantmuckcoins.com to avoid the packs, save some racks. Link is in the description below. Use code CC now for 20% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We're here with Team of the Week predictions, and it was a very interesting, big week for a lot of guys in the NFL this week. So we're going to be hopping into Team of the Week predictions, and what I want you guys to do is you let me know 1, 2, 3 players you want in Team of the Week. You know, when we do Team of the Week predictions, it's about who we want, not necessarily who I think EA is going to pick, because I don't follow their logic at all. So let's get into this. Let's hop into this today. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. All sorts of that's a lot of cool stuff, right? So 2020 week 8, big performances for a couple key guys. Now we know Mahomes threw for about 5,000 yards and 8 touchdowns on the Jets, but I kind of imagine he's probably slated for another card at some point. His first upgrade of the year. Maybe. I mean, he's Patrick Mahomes, right? We also had big performances. Russell Wilson again had another huge day. DK Metcalf had a huge day. Julio Jones had a pretty big day as well. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind a +1 in my Julio Jones. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind it. I don't think they'll do it though. Who's it? Devontae Adams had about 7 touchdowns as well. I think Dalvin Cook had a million touchdowns too. I mean, I know he had 4 big games. I mean, DK Metcalf's 12 catches, 160 and 2 touchdowns. So he's like the big name here, which would make a lot of sense. Now, CX got a receiver last week, but I think DK Metcalf, even getting a +1 would be huge. If he gets the hero, that card would be sick. And I think he should be loving DK Metcalf. He's quite the name here, honestly, for a lot of people. Defensively, there was some good performances here, but I'm not going to focus on that. I want to focus on the offensive side of the ball. You know, I could see Devontae Adams. This could be a week where, honestly, EA finally says, you know what, we are going to +1 a bunch of these cards, which are already good, right? The Dalvin Cook, Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, DK Metcalf, Pat Mahomes. These are all guys who are all like 90 overall plus, right? So I don't know who they're going to pick as the hero or the player of the week, whatever we want to call it, but the more +1s we get out of those cards, the better, because that's sort of one of the key parts to Team of the Week this year, and I really love it, and I want to see them say, you know what, let's do it. So hopefully that is what they do indeed. But again, I don't really care what they do for that, as long as we see a couple of those. Obviously, you know, my own bias would come into play there. As we look back at years past to see who could be the heroes, who could be the limited. Now remember, the limited is a current player, the heroes are past players as well. So we look here, we got Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Aaron Jones, all possibilities for the limited. Aaron Jones had a huge game. I mean, look at this, 7 catches, 159 and 2 touchdowns. Nick Bosa had a 3-sack game. It could be. Bosa's hurt too, so he's not going to get any actual Team of the Week cards. This is apparently James Conner week. Adrian Peterson again. I swear, Adrian Peterson he's had a good week every year. You know what I mean? Adrian Peterson had a big week. James Conner had a big week. Mike Evans had a big week, but he didn't get it. Was named player of the week there. D Ford, again, sort of a name that you could see getting a card, right? You could see D Ford getting a card. We got a Juju this year. Russell Wilson, obviously he's not going to get an upgrade there. Jalen Mills, Carlos Dunlap. What did Juju do this week? 193 and a touchdown. That's a pretty good game. That's a pretty good game there, bud. Zeke had a big game. LaShawn McCoy had a big game as well. Okay. Not bad. Still no one really standing out to me. Derek Carr, probably not going to get it. Jordan Howard, Star, Bradley Roby. Let's just say that that's not going to happen. It's not going to be those cards, right? We look here. Brady, Breeze, Quan Alexander, Derek Wolf. Again, let's just go with, I hope it doesn't happen. Brady does need an upgrade, right? I'm sure it'll happen. Big Ben, Larry Fitzgerald, Anthony Barr. Now, Anthony Barr is a name who is kind of like a Mutt legend. I actually expect him to be in the 50. So I'm not going to include him here. Fitz could actually be in the 50 as well. So I don't think either of those guys make a lot of sense for someone that I would really want, and I sort of have them earmarked elsewhere. DRC, Marvin Jones, Calvin Johnson, Terrell Thomas. Now Marvin Jones would actually be a good card. He had 122 yards and 4 touchdowns, but Calvin Johnson, this is his week. 329 yards receiving. Now, at the time of recording this is before Scary Tall. Calvin Johnson could easily be Scary Tall. If he's not Scary Tall, why not put him in here? It's like the best week ever. Just the best week ever. And we know DRC is probably not going to get an upgrade yet. As well, Tom Brady again, Alex Smith, Stevie Brown, Wesley Woodyard again. Nothing really super exciting there. Honestly, from a Mutt standpoint, remember, I'm talking about them from a Mutt standpoint, usability standpoint. Don't get upset at me. I know that these guys are really good cards. Derek Johnson, Cliff Averill, LaShawn McCoy, Big Ben. Now, you could see LaShawn McCoy. I'm pretty sure he's still in the league. And he might be a really good card for the limited. But he doesn't have a power-up. So, it's not really a card I would want there, but he could easily slot right into there. What do we see? DeMarcus Ware had a 4-sack game. Could see him introduced. DeMarcus Ware's normally in the game, and he's normally pretty good. We need another linebacker pass rusher. Probably not. Another Calvin Johnson week. Dwight Freeney, Aqib Talib. It would make sense for them to do Dwight Freeney. They want to do every single Colts player. They really do. David Garrard. That's a blast from the past, isn't it? CJ, 2K, Brett Favre, Brian Cushing, Julius Peppers. Again, I feel like Peppers is more along the lines of a 50 card. CJ, 2K would make a lot of sense here, but I don't think they're ever going to give him a card. Look at Peppers. What a week. What a good week. Maurice Jones-Drew. That's a good week, too. Averaged 20 yards a carry. It's crazy. Pennington, Drew Brees, Matthias Kiwanuka steps in for the Giants. Chris Hope. Look at that. Brandon Flowers. That's a good game. I would like Brandon Flowers card would be pretty nice, honestly. That would be pretty nice. I remember him. Joseph Adai, Mike. Speaking of the Colts. The Colts, why do they get all these cards, man? They really do. It's kind of nuts. Again, nothing crazy here that I'm seeing for cards that I really want. This is not gonna be necessarily our favorite week, I think. Sean Jones wouldn't be a bad card. Larry Johnson. Oh, I would love a Larry Johnson card, to be honest. Larry Johnson, he holds a soft spot in the heart from fantasy football. If you know what I mean. Did you draft him? Oh my God. Vic went off against the Bengals. Obviously, Vic's not really a team of the week guy. And then we're gonna get here Teddy Bruschi, Charles Tillman, Tiki Barber. So what I'm thinking this week, again, I want to say Adrian Peterson every week, but I'm not going to say Adrian Peterson. I think LaShawn McCoy would be a really, really good card. So I would like to see what his card would be as the limited. I really do. Now, again, I'm saying this before Scary Tall comes out, right? If Calvin Johnson's not part of Scary Tall, is not part of the 50, I assume he could be a part of both. But they could easily have just been like, you know what? Like, he wasn't really a guy that people used in Madden, you know? We want to introduce him here. We could slide him. They could slide him into Team of the Week. The man had 300 yards in a week. And so for the sake of I want him in the game, I'm going to say I want Calvin Johnson as our Team of the Week hero. Okay? Right or wrong, I don't know. But I do want him in the game. I don't know how they're going to get him in the game or where they could put him in the game, but if they were ever going to give him a Team of the Week card, this is obviously the week. And then defensively, for our past hero, I'm going to go with the guy we saw him here on the screen, actually, Peanut Tillman, who just, I mean, he's been in the game for a couple years. He's actually a really good card in MUT, generally, as well. He makes a lot of sense. He kind of fits that mold of a Team of the Week card. So I'm going to go with Peanut Tillman there. Lots of good options, but I feel like as we're going later in the year through Team of the Week, we're running into a lot of the same players over and over and over and over and over, because a lot of these guys, they really were like dominant players, and these are guys we want. So we obviously missed last week because we didn't pick a right guard. Why would we? They've never done that before. So we have no idea what they could do. They could hit us out of left field. They could hit us out of right field. They could just Mariah carry the pitch. You know, I don't know what they're going to do. But as long as we get good +1s this week, right? As long as we get a decent limited, which I would go for, because I feel like we've just had so many pass rushers. I don't want a pass rusher right now. No, skill position would be super cool to have back. And then from the heroes, just sort of do whatever you want. I care and I don't care. I care and I don't care. I'm gonna be totally honest. I feel like this is probably the last week of this overall for Team of the Week as well. So these cards are coming in like at the tail end of stuff, and so they're not going to be nearly as good for as long or as usable anyway. So I'm not going to be broken up either way. I'm not going to be upset either way. I'm not going to be overly excited either way unless they really blow us away. So it is going to be a Team of the Week. I think they'll do good with it. I don't think these cards are going to be long-term starters unless it's like DK Metcalf or someone like that, you know, who's just whose stats just sort of are above and beyond his overall anyway. So that is what it is. Let me know who you guys think down below. By the time you see this, we're probably into the last part of Most Feared. So don't get mad if there was a Calvin Johnson there. I didn't know. Be great. I love you guys. Take care. I'm out. Peace.